Hi class. This week we are focusing on leading and managing personnel. This is actually one of my favorite topics related to management in the field of early childhood education. The field of early childhood has traditionally seen a huge annual turnover rate, as high as 40% annually, according to the Center on Child Care Workforce. You might think, well, we have staff that have been here for a very long time. However, every time a vacancy is filled, that counts as turnover. If a teaching aide position opens up 3 times during the year because an individual just doesn't work out, that contributes to the statistic. Let's take a look at some of the factors that seem to lead to this turnover. Low compensation. Well, there's a shock. I'm pretty sure that most of you are aware that the pay rates for preschool and infant toddler teachers are not great. Not only are the wages poor, but in many classes there are no benefits to accompany the low pay. No big surprise, the companies that pay the lowest salaries experience the highest turnover rates. However, I don't believe people jump ship for 40 or 50 cents more an hour. However, if someone doesn't feel valued in their position, that coupled with low pay will make people look for other employment. A second factor is in the high turnover rate scenario is high job stress. Really? Did you know that? Well, yes, of course you did. Causes for stress include long hours, physical demands of the classroom, the noise factor, and a general sense of being overwhelmed. Some of that stress can be alleviated by looking at the next factor, which is inadequate training. I have a friend who was recently hired to work at a Title 22 program. She has taken growth and development and early childhood music class. Now she is continuing her education to gain more knowledge, but she is continually being put in a classroom alone with more than 6 toddlers. She hasn't been trained to do circle time, plan curriculum. Basically, she's just trying to keep it down to an organized chaos. How long will she stick it out in this position? Hard to say. Her goal is to be a kindergarten teacher. This is just a step along the way. But when you look at that scenario, you can see why employees feel a great deal of stress. And unlike a grocery store, if someone doesn't show up to work, it doesn't mean just waiting in line for a few minutes longer. It means children aren't being properly cared for, and that matters. Personnel is one area where some centers may not follow regulations because they feel it causes an unnecessary burden on the center. What are some common violations? Well, probably the most common is being out of ratio regarding the number of children and adults in a program. But other things may include lack of proper training, documentation, failure to comply with criminal background check requirements, minimal or little orientation, and a failure to give proper breaks and lunches. Stop for a moment and think about what makes you feel valued in a position. There might be a few variations, but for the most part, people want to feel like that they're doing their job well, that they are appreciated, and are making a difference. Also, they need the support of their supervisor. The way a manager handles leading and managing staff is really strongly tied to values. Does the director value the employees? If they do, they will take care to ensure things are handled appropriately. If you demonstrate that you care about your employees, you will be sure they get their breaks. You will ensure that the proper ratios are maintained. You will help pursue them gaining additional training in areas where they may feel inadequate. The manager or director sets the tone and helps minimize staff turnover whenever possible. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Have a great week.